Welcome back to the kitchen, you lot. Today we're going to tackle Thanksgiving head-on and show you how to cook the most delicious, impressive feast you can imagine. No more dry turkey, no more soggy sides, and for God's sake, no more canned cranberry sauce. We're talking a Thanksgiving meal so good, it'll make your guests weep with joy. We'll cover every bloody thing, from the star of the show, a perfectly golden juicy turkey, to sides that'll steal the show, and desserts so good, you'll be fighting over the last bite. So roll up your sleeves, put on your aprons, and let's get this Thanksgiving show on the road. Listen up, you want a turkey that's not drier than the Sahara? This is it. This herb-roasted turkey is a game changer. We're going to start with a beautiful free-range bird. None of that supermarket rubbish. We'll rub it down with a generous amount of butter. Because honestly, can you ever have too much butter? Then we'll hit it with a mountain of fresh herbs. Rosemary, sage, thyme, the works. Don't even think about skipping the basting. We're talking every 20 minutes, people. We want that skin golden and crispy and the meat so juicy you'll be needing a bib. This, my friends, is how you roast a turkey. Now, I know not everyone's cooking for an army. So, for those of you who want a delicious turkey without the fuss of a whole bird, this one's for you. We're talking a perfectly roasted turkey breast, juicy and full of flavor. We'll start by searing the skin to get this beautiful golden brown crust. Then we'll pop it in the oven with some aromatics like garlic, lemon, and herbs. The result? A tender, flavorful turkey breast that's cooked to perfection. No more dry turkey, I promise you. Listen, I know what you're thinking. Brussels sprouts? But trust me on this one. These are not your average boiled-to-death Brussels sprouts. These are crispy, caramelized, and bursting with flavor. We're talking crispy pancetta, crunchy toasted pine nuts, and a touch of sweetness from the balsamic glaze. It's a symphony of textures and flavors that will have you going back for seconds, thirds, and maybe even fourths. Chapter 4. Forget that gelatinous goop that comes in a can. This cranberry apple chutney is the real deal. It's sweet, tart, and bursting with fresh flavors. We'll start by slowly cooking down cranberries and apples with orange zest, cinnamon, and a touch of ginger. The result is a chutney that's both elegant and delicious. It's the perfect accompaniment to your turkey, your ham, or even just a dollop on a cheese board. Chapter 5. This cauliflower au gratin is a revelation. It's creamy, cheesy, and utterly irresistible. We're talking tender cauliflower florets smothered in a rich cheesy sauce and then baked to golden perfection. The secret to the perfect au gratin is a good roux, and don't even think about using that pre-shredded cheese. We're grating our own for maximum flavor. Trust me, this is one side dish that will have everyone begging for more. Chapter 6. These oven-roasted root vegetables are a celebration of fall flavors. We're talking colorful carrots, sweet potatoes, and earthy beets, all roasted to perfection. The key here is to get a nice caramelization on the vegetables. And for an extra layer of flavor and crunch, we're topping them with a spicy pecan crumble. The sweetness of the pecans combined with the smoky paprika is a match made in heaven. Chapter 7. Basic mashed potatoes, creamy, dreamy, and utterly irresistible. You can't have Thanksgiving without a big bowl of creamy mashed potatoes, can you? These are my go-to mashed potatoes, simple, classic, and utterly delicious. We're talking fluffy potatoes whipped to perfection with butter, cream, and a touch of nutmeg. The key here is to use a potato ricer for the smoothest, fluffiest mashed potatoes you've ever tasted. Don't even think about using a food processor. You'll end up with gluey potatoes, and nobody wants that. Granny Smith apple pie, the perfect balance of sweet and tart. This Granny Smith apple pie is a classic for a reason. The tartness of the Granny Smith apples is perfectly balanced by the sweetness of the sugar and the buttery, flaky crust. And don't even get me started on the aroma of this pie baking in the oven. It's enough to make your mouth water. We're going for a double crust pie here because honestly, can you ever have too much pastry? This is a pie that will have everyone asking for seconds. Sweet potato pie, a Southern Thanksgiving staple. Sweet potato pie is a true Southern classic. And for good reason. It's creamy, it's decadent, and it's got that perfect touch of sweetness. We're using roasted sweet potatoes for this pie to really intensify their natural sweetness. And of course, no sweet potato pie would be complete without a generous amount of warm spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. This pie is a hug in a slice. Pumpkin pie, a Thanksgiving classic. You can't have Thanksgiving without a pumpkin pie, can you? This is the classic pumpkin pie recipe, made with real pumpkin puree, not that canned stuff. We're talking warm spices like cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, and a touch of brown sugar for sweetness. And of course, no pumpkin pie would be complete without a generous dollop of whipped cream on top. It's the perfect ending to a perfect Thanksgiving meal. Happy Thanksgiving from the Most. Right, you lot, that's it. The most delicious Thanksgiving meal you'll ever cook. From the perfectly roasted turkey to the creamy mashed potatoes and the sweet and decadent pies, you've got everything you need to impress your guests this Thanksgiving. Remember, cooking is about passion, it's about flavor, and most importantly, it's about bringing people together. So, get in the kitchen, have some fun, and create a Thanksgiving meal that everyone will remember. And don't forget to subscribe to the Most of Everything channel for the most of everything. Happy Thanksgiving!